Okay guys, today we are going to review cubes and what makes a cube a cube. So for your do now, you are going to post on Edmodo or somehow share this with your teacher. What makes this toy a cube? What features does it have that will tell you that it is a cube? So if you have to pause this video to write it down, go ahead and do that. And then we're going to get started. Okay, so some of the things about this cube is that it has the features of a cube. This is called a Rubik's Cube. You may have seen this before. But a cube has 6 equal faces. So a face is like a polygon. So I am going to trace our face in the front here for our example in yellow. This is a face. Now, the thing with a face in a cube is that the faces on the cube, you not only have 6, but each of those faces is a square. Now, we already know that a square means that all sides are of equal length and they have right angles all around. So we can tell that this is a square and it does have our 4 vertices. Now, in a cube shape, these sides, as we used to call them in a square, for the cube, they are called edges. In a cube, we have 12 edges. So we have 4 here. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. And you cannot see the other edges because they're in the back area. So I'm going to show you on the next slide exactly where they are. But we can view, I'm sorry, and we had one more here, 9. But there's going to be one going down, another one going down, and we have it across as well. You'll see it better in the next one. So it also does have vertices, and there are 8 vertices in a cube. And it's the same as when we talked about two-dimensional shapes. Those vertices are those corner spots where your edges meet. So let's look at a couple other examples, and I can show you more about your faces and your edges on this next example. So we have our faces or our squares. So we're looking at all of our square shapes. We have 1, 2, 3 in the back, 4 is on the side. Okay. Then we have our roof here, and we have our floor. So that's 6 total. It's 4 walls, 1 roof, and 1 floor. Now for the edges, I'm going to trace it in a different color just so we can see it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's what we saw in the Rubik's Cube. Now here's 10, 11, 12. That's how we have our 12 edges. Now what makes cubes so different than other shapes is, or any other 3D shapes, are those square faces. It has to have a square. If it has a rectangular face, it is no longer the cube. And these are some real life examples, boxes. Now, you might see boxes that have a rectangular face. That is no longer a cube. A cube has to have that square face in it. And I'm going to show you some examples of other 3D shapes that you've seen before on one of my other lessons. Now, for your closure, you're going to have to explain why a cube is different than all of these other shapes. You can choose one shape or some of the other shapes. So I'm going to show you and then make sure that you're paying attention because you're going to have to explain it as well. So in a cylinder, we have an oval or a circle bottom, depending on what you're looking at. But this is a circle for my cylinder. It's like a tube, like a pipe, or a toilet paper roll holder, or a paper towel roll holder. That would be a cylinder shape. This is a cuboid. It has a rectangular face here, and this side is a square. But that rectangular face sets it apart from a cube. This is a cone, And the cone has a circle bottom. Think of an ice cream cone. This is like an upside down ice cream cone. This pyramid has a square bottom, which you can't see because of the way it's angled, but it has these triangles on the side. Pyramid and a cone look very similar, but a cone, thinking about an ice cream cone, is all round on the outside, and the pyramid has those triangles. It has 3 triangles to connect to make it a pyramid. A sphere is a ball. It's just all round. A hemisphere is half of a ball. You'll have that round bottom and then the circle on the top. And it does have the word sphere in it. And then a triangular prism has triangles on both ends. If you were looking at the other side, it would look kind of like that too. And then over here is a square. Let me do that in a different color. I'll color it in a little bit, actually. Here's a rectangle on the side here. That's what sets it apart from the cube. A cube is made up of squares. It is 6 squares connected together to make a cube. If you were to take 6 square pieces of paper and put them in a 3D form, you would be making a cube. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to draw a cube. And forgive me, I am not the best artist, but I can still try. So my cube is going to be 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. That just means that it's 3 squares long and 3 squares tall. And then I'm going to show you how to do it with width. So I'm going to go over only 2 boxes. And it's just because it's tilted, and that's why it doesn't, it looks like it would be shorter because I only did 2, but it is actually the same length by going slanted, diagonal. And then you'll see I'm going to connect these. That's 3. I'm going to go down 3 and across 2. Now I'm going to show you also with the dotted lines what I wouldn't be able to see because I'm acting like this is a solid, right? Oops. But if I'm looking like an X-ray inside, this is what it would look like. So here I'm going to go down 3, go across 2, and across 3. And there's my cube. So now remember, for your closure, you are going to explain why a cube is different than any other 3D shape. What makes a cube so special? You can compare it to a shape, or you can just explain what makes a cube special.